Hi, my name is Buck Beasom, and I teach Ollie Zoom classes across the country, including three for Dartmouth over the past couple of years. But thanks to an upcoming research trip and the kind hospitality of the folks at Ollie Dartmouth, I'll be joining you in June to present three short presentations on the 16th. The topics may not really seem that closely related, but they really all connect through a single theme in human history, and that is how we move people and things. The agricultural revolution led to the first civilizations when people observed natural seasonal flooding and decided they could route the water where they wanted it to go. This 4,000-year-old clay tablet shows how the first civilization in Mesopotamia joined the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. The canal system provided irrigation, transport, and protection, as seen in this rendering of ancient Babylon. The Egyptian civilization created the Canal of the Pharaohs, an idea very much ahead of its time because it joined the Gulf of Suez and the Mediterranean Sea just as the Suez Canal does today. This is an impressive engineering achievement, started in the 600s BC and opened for over 1,000 years. It lasted through both the Greek and Roman empires and is mentioned in many of the great histories of antiquity. China's Grand Canal was started a little later than the one in Egypt, but it took much longer to build, about 1 mile a year for over a millennium until it was completed, and continues in use to this day. Here you see it during an imperial possession in 1770. Water has values beyond just floating things on it. The Erie Canal, where we will conclude our look at canals, was the last great civil works project built with muscle power, human and animal. But it turns out water has other uses besides just floating things on it, and one of them is the fact that when boiled, it expands 1,700 times. This was recognized even by the ancients. Here you see Heron's Aeolipile, which used the boiling water to spin the turbine you see until the water ran out. In more modern times, steam engine technology advanced to the point that this maritime steam engine was a standard in naval ships of the 19th and 20th century. And we still use it today in our most modern and powerful ships. The only difference is that we use nuclear power to boil the water. Jimmy Doolittle would have been famous for the Tokyo raid if he'd never done anything else, and indeed that's what most people remember him for. By the time he took off, he'd been through over 20 crashes and crash landings. But long before that famous raid, Doolittle had established a reputation for himself flying for the Army and achieved many aviation firsts. As we see here on the list, the outside loop is when the loop starts out with a dive rather than with a climb. And he held countless trophies and records. But equally important was his abilities as an engineer and his general level of intelligence. He was admitted to MIT and managed in 2 years to complete both a Master of Science and a doctorate in aeronautics. He married his engineering and technical skills with his flying skills during the first all-instrument flight, when in the back seat of the plane you see here, the leather shroud was raised over him, and the only thing he could see was his instruments. Everyone who has ever flown on a commercial aircraft owes a debt of gratitude to Doolittle. He also pioneered the use of high compression engines and high octane fuel for aviation. So, hope you'll join me in June, and if not, hope to see more of my Dartmouth friends for the Erie Canal course, which premieres in September.